Pleasant good morning to each and every one here. Welcome again to another edition of Cruising with the Case Handler. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Wednesday here. We got a lot to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm jumping it off. I'm fired up, not waiting around for my co-pilot, Mr. Adam Handler. I'm just doing what I've got to do. So a pleasant good morning. I see the panel looks a lot better this morning here. Let me just introduce what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cruise with a Case Handler, a show that is about personal injury and, yes, immigration. And we have got them right here, ladies and gentlemen, ready, willing, and able to help everyone. So once again, welcome. I want to say thanks to PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico for bringing this to us right here on 93.5 WVIP FM. We are on a commercial radio station. I personally have been on the station since 1996. Jesus, I'm showing my age now. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been great working. As a matter of fact, it's been great running a business on this station. I've focused on the Caribbean community and beyond. We have helped more than likely hundreds of thousands of people in different areas, different capacities, and it's a blessing. And one of my favorite capacity is speaking with attorneys who are excellent at what they do. And I am so into it because I am an immigrant and these attorneys are so proficient in that area of immigration. And I want to say welcome to Nelson Madrid. I want to say welcome to Andrea, okay, AKA Scheer. All right, we'll talk about that later on. I want to say welcome to Conrad Pollack, the maestro. Okay, I want to say thanks to each and every single one of you for tuning in. The show is about personal injury and immigration. Our personal injury pilot, I don't know where he is today, but I'm quite sure he will pop up sooner or later. All right. With that said, let's jump the show off. All right. 93.5 WVIP FM. And I want to say welcome to, of course, everybody tuning in. What I'd like for you to do now is to actually if you have the opportunity or if you are able to get on Facebook, please go on Facebook. You'll see the panel of the attorneys that we're about to speak with right now, ladies and gentlemen. My Facebook page is David Squeezaniki. You've got PPID's page, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. You can also go to Adam Handler's page, okay, the case handler, and let's welcome the team, all right? Let's say good morning. Nelson, I'm going to jump it off with you, man. How you feeling this morning? You know?
Good. I'm good. It's, what is it, Tuesday?
Yeah,
Wednesday. Come on.
Wednesday. Listen, Conrad told me a few weeks ago, he said, I don't think about next week. I think about right now. I think about today. And that's actually helped me get through this time. I don't know what day of the month we're in. I sometimes know the day of the week, but that's helped me get through. So it's Wednesday.
Well, it's good to have you here, Nelson. By the way, folks, Nelson, we call him the Maverick because he's very good at what it is that he does, immigration overall. However, he loved to handle specific cases that have to do with removal proceedings, deportation. People have had run-ins with the law and paid their debt to society and is now ready to, of course, stay in the United States, get their situation sorted out. And I do believe everyone has, the right to that, all right? And he is very good at helping people where that is concerned. And in this climate, we all know what's happening out there. A lot of people have had run-ins that should never have happened. So I'm very happy that we have him on the team. He's been with the firm for over 13 years and he's been doing an excellent job at helping an immigrant community. So call him at 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Then we have the man at the helm. His name is Conrad Pollack. We call him the maestro, not because he's excellent at playing the piano, but this dude, man, if you listen to how he answers questions, you'll know that he's truly a maestro at what it is that he does. So Conrad Pollack, welcome to the show. How are you feeling today?
Good morning. I'm feeling good. Beautiful day. I'm back at my upstate hideaway, my lair, and looking out. It's just a beautiful day. And as just echoing Nelson's sentiments, one day at a time. We are definitely living in surreal times. I try not to, when I wake up in the morning, I try not to think about just all the craziness surrounding us and the uncertainty out there. And, you know, we're all in this together. You know, people are worried about their jobs. Are they ever going to get back to work? Are they going to keep their jobs? Are they going to lose their jobs? And they be able to support their families? And, you know, we're all thinking the same things. You know, I mean, right now, you know, our office in New York City and in Brooklyn and in Peekskill, we're waiting on the governor to issue information in terms of when we can proceed to reopen in New York and in Brooklyn. Peekskill, we're about to reopen, as a matter of fact. But it's just that there's just so much uncertainty out there, and we're all living with it. You know, we're all sharing it, and we're hoping that this little show that we're doing every morning for an hour helps people get through things and maybe answers a few of their questions that they might have that have been nagging at them. And, you know, I guess we can all use this as kind of a group therapy, you know?
Absolutely.
I mean, I do. I certainly do. I certainly look at it that way.
I think we all do. Conrad Pollack, ladies and gentlemen, he's ready, willing, and able to answer your immigration questions. Do remember to place your questions on Facebook. David Squeeze Anarchy is the name of the Facebook page, or the case handler, or PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and Desico. Just place your questions right there. Don't be afraid. Or call 844-774-3529. If you would like to get your immigration questions answered absolutely free over the phone, get a free phone consultation off the air at 844-774-3529. Now I'm going to move to the better part of the panel right now, and that happens to be Andrea. Before we get to the late dude, the Jamaican dude who show up, and I'm being stereotypical here, and I do that with my own people. All right. So, you know, before we get to the Jamaican dude who just rolled up, all right, let's move to Andrea Scheer. How are you doing today? And welcome to the panel.
Hi, I'm doing well.
Shira. That's her nickname, Shira. How are you doing today, Shira?
Good. Happy to be here today. Excited for the show.
Good to have you here. I mean, do you like doing the show? I mean, be honest. I mean, I don't want to think that, you know, anyone on this panel twisted your arms to come on as an immigration attorney and help people by, you know, giving your piece as to what you have to say about immigration and how you have helped people. Do you like doing the show, or do they just drag you up and, oh man, I gotta go do the show? How do you feel?
I like it. Yes, I think it's important, and I think we help a lot of people and we provide a lot of information. So I do like it. I don't like getting up so early, but I do like the show.
Like many others here.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the immigration attorneys, I have just introduced them. I would like to remind everyone, it's very important, even if you don't place your questions on the comment section in Facebook, to actually dial the number 844-774-3529. The most important thing is not just to get the free phone consultation. The most important thing is to actually hire them, retain them. I know times are rough. I know finance right now is tough, but work something out with them. They are willing to work out something with you where payment plans are concerned. However, just remember, it is a priority. So you may want to focus more on that where a lot of things are concerned. Let's move to my yard friend. I'm just kidding. All right. Adam Handler, the shark, the personal injury attorney, the man who let me take the plane off the ground, and then somehow he zoomed in some kind of a parachute magic thing, whatever that thing is. And he's here. I don't know how you got on the plane, man. How you doing, Adam?
Listen, brother, good morning to you. A gorgeous day. I had to just deal with something real quick back on the home front, but I'm here, and you know, it's never good to be late to your own party. But hello, here I am, the case handler. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for spending this beautiful, beautiful morning with us. Hopefully, you know, you're out there either heading to work right now or heading to do something with your family. And if not, you're sitting comfy on your couch, having a cup of coffee, watching us on Facebook right now. I know Shira is not on her couch today. This is the first show that she's actually sitting in a chair. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Wanted to switch it up today.
Yeah, Conrad's got you know, he's high and tight with that haircut, looking good. And Nelson, you know, I guess you're just Nelson, but anyway, good morning, guys. I'm so happy again that you guys are here. You know, the message is very clear that we've been giving out for the past few months, and that's that we're a firm that does things much, much differently than all other firms out there. You know, I always say, and I give credit to everybody that really tries hard and works hard. There are a lot of good lawyers out there, right? But not every lawyer is created equal, and collectively, not every law firm operates the same way. So if you want a law firm that's going to treat you like family, right? If you want a law firm that's going to have respect for you, no matter who you are, where you're from, what you're doing here, what's happened in your past, then you will save our number and you will use it if, God forbid, you ever need it. Because we never look back, we just look forward. And we look forward to helping you and your family make a difference in your life, whether it's through the personal injury cases, which I handle with my associate, Matt Goodstein. I personally have obtained over $120 million for case handler clients over my career. And Conrad and Nelson and Alan and Andrea and Shruti have literally helped tens of thousands of clients over the course of their careers at Pollack, Isaac, DeSico. And we couldn't be prouder, giving back to the community that's embraced us by giving 100% free phone consultations. So that means if you have this number, if you dial the number that I'm about to give you, and you either let it ring or you actually let us pick up, you will have access to a law firm that will give you 100% free advice and information over the phone. And if we can help you, we ask that you give us the opportunity to do so, because you will see the difference when dealing with Pollack, Isaac, DeSico than with any other law firm. And our phone number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844 PPID law.
That's it. That's, of course, the case handler, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever get hurt in an accident, okay, rear end, front end, and sideways, whatever happens, you get hurt, you need to have the right attorney on your side. And that man is the shark, AKA the case handler. And he will go after them and make sure he gets the maximum compensation, because you've got one choice, one chance, and you've got the case handler, Adam Handler. By the way, once again, let me repeat the number as he did. The number is 844-774-3529. Everyone shooting into the station right now, share that number with everyone that you know. God forbid they need an attorney. We've got multiple capacities in areas at PPID, obviously personal injury and immigration, and also, of course, criminal defense and real estate and more. The number is 844-PPID-LAW. That's 844-PPID-LAW, 844-774-3529. Let's go to Andrea. Don't know if there's anything, any news, anything on the front line that you'd like to bring to us, to the radio station and Facebook today, as to what's happening out there, as we ask everyone to share the Facebook page that they're watching. Is there anything specific you want to touch on, Andrea? I do remember a few weeks ago you spoke on a fraud department, I believe, that the Department of Homeland Security had set up. So I don't know if you want to expand or expound on that, but the floor is all yours.
Well, today I actually wanted to talk about a lot of things, but it's hard to cover it all in one show. So I'll probably have to come back. There's been 46 total policy changes since Trump, from the Trump administration, since the pandemic started. That's 46 in about 3 months. So some of these changes are temporary and were necessary and proportionate to the crisis, but some of them seem to be an excuse or a pretext to change the immigration system and to proceed or follow his agenda. Some of them are temporary, such as the travel bans. But for example, there are some actions that impact vulnerable communities, and we think, or we don't know when they're going to end or if they're going to end. For example, asylum seekers, people are being returned at the border. They can enter through the border. They're being sent back, even if they say that they have a fear of persecution. There's refugee suspensions as well. There's suspension of visa appointments. So there's a ton of changes that have happened in the past few months. And it's hard to keep track of it. So we found a list of resources where we can look into them and be on top of everything. But also today I wanted to talk about U visas, which is, for me, it's one of the best visas that immigration gives people. It's for victims of crimes. So immigrants usually, when they're victims of a crime, they don't want to call the police because they're scared that they're going to be deported or they're going to be in trouble. But actually, the U visa is meant to protect those people. So if you are the victim of a crime, you can, if you help the police and if you assist in the investigation, you can obtain an immigration benefit from it. So just telling people, if you're in trouble, if you are a victim of, for example, domestic violence, you should call the police and you should assist with them, and then you should call a lawyer so you can get help, because you could definitely obtain a benefit through that.
So if you witness a crime, you can actually get this U visa or apply for this U visa, you know.
It's not just that you witness the crime, they actually want you to take steps to help, to assist. So you have to, if they call you for to be a witness at the case, or if they call you to give a statement, you should help. You shouldn't just call the police. You should actually take steps to be helpful to the investigation, because that way you can obtain the benefit.
Squeeze in. It's actually, I'm sorry to interject, it's not a witness to a crime, it's the victim of a crime. Okay, so you basically had to suffer either a direct or indirect harm. You know, we've helped people whose husbands were killed. You know, we've helped people who were robbed at gunpoint, shot, you know, felonious assault. And as Andrea was saying, it's a way for people to legalize their status, not just their status. If you have any minor children, if you're married, it's a way for basically the entire family to legalize their status. And if you have a prior removal order, it's a basis to have that case reopened. Okay. So it is a very powerful tool, which a lot of people don't know about. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Andrea. It's, again, it allows people who are, you have to be ready, willing, and able to cooperate. You need a law enforcement agency to certify. And the downside of it is that it takes a long time. It takes anywhere from 6 to 8 years. U visa status is good for 4 years. After 3 years, you could apply for permanent resident status, and you could actually travel on a U visa.
To add to that, the wait time is that long right now because there's a cap on the visa, so you can only get it. It's 10,000 people a year. So then you go into this like sort of wait list, and finally when it's your turn, then you can get the benefit. And also, if you have a minor child that has been the victim of a you can obtain benefit through the child, because if you are helpful to the investigation as well, then you can obtain benefits through your child also. But again, you have to be the victim of a crime. You have to suffer substantial physical or mental harm, and you have to be helpful to the investigation. This is the first time I'm going to do this. So the number to call us is 1-800-774-3529.
Oh, one more time. Check the number again.
Try that again.
Check the number again. No. Check the number behind Adam Handler.
Oh, I got it wrong? Oh, 1-844-774-3529. I'm so sorry.
Go. That's the number to be connected to really great lawyers. Actually, Andrea, if you want to speak to Andrea and ask her some questions based on what she's saying to you right now for a confidential phone consultation, call that number. Ask for Andrea, ask for the maestro, ask for the Maverick. You know, we put ourselves out here so you guys can understand who we are, not only as professionals, but as individuals, because we will be your lawyer. You know, we say over and over, we are practicing attorneys. Yes, we're out here marketing and advertising our legal services to you, but you have to remember, we're not gonna, tell you, come work with our firm. We're not going to ask you to retain us. We're not going to, seek to represent you and just pass you off to somebody else. We will be your attorneys. You can specifically ask for an attorney. You can specifically request to speak to a certain attorney during your phone consultation. And of course, feel comfortable and confident enough that we will be handling the case for you. So, you know, a lot of people call and they say, oh, you know, I want only Adam working on my case. Well, you know, we work as a team, of course, but you should understand that I oversee and I work on every single case that comes through our door when it comes to personal injury, car accidents, trip and falls, workplace and construction accidents. That's what we do. So we take pride in our work as professionals and also as individuals, and we really all love what we do. And even though, as Andrea said, it's not easy to get up in the morning, normally we would be almost in the office right now. So we got to get back into that healthy pattern of getting up, getting ready, and getting excited to help those people that have one and only chance to get it right. And we say it all the time.
You know what, Adam?
Yep.
You know what, Adam? I just wanted to quickly, the area that Andrea touched on this morning, all right, and Nelson expanded on, and I like that, is extremely important that everyone that is listening, they touched on the visa called the U visa. People who have been victim of a crime, okay? So if you've been a victim of a crime in a robbery, whatever it has been, assaulted, you know, your family member being killed, as Nelson and Andrea stated, this community, okay, I want to really focus on it. This community, I've been through a lot of that. And this firm, PPID, they have handled quite a bit of those cases. So I wanted to tell everybody right here on 93.5 FM, if you have been the victim of a crime and you're out of status, there is more than likely benefits, okay, to you in reference to immigration. So it's extremely important that you dial the number that Adam and Andrea just mentioned right now. Before I hand it back to Adam, who handles the personal injury side at the firm, I want everyone out there to dial the number. You may be able to get help with the U visa. So call the number off the air and get a free phone consultation, okay? 844-774-3529. It's my job to highlight certain things, and that's what I'm doing here. Many of you out there have been a victim of a crime, are the victim of a crime. Pick up the phone, get a free phone consultation with one of the attorneys and ask them, can I get help? And it's free to speak with them, okay? The consultation, that is, okay, a phone consultation. Call them now, 844-774-3529, 844-PPID-LAW. Sorry about that, Adam. The floor is all yours. I would love to hear a true success story if you can, but I want for you to expand more on people who have got, you know, who got hurt in accidents, and you have helped them.
Of course. I mean, listen, it's been over my 17 years of doing this, I've helped thousands of people. Like I said, we're over $120 million total recoveries. And the cases, you know, in many ways blend together, but you know, the general outlook I have of these cases is that justice served, right? These people come to me with a serious problem. They've been in an accident, they've sustained an injury through no fault of their own. They now are either out of work, have medical bills that are piling up, and of course are dealing with pain. We can never bring somebody back from that. You know, we can never alleviate one's pain through a lawsuit. But the way the civil justice system is set up here in the United States, that if you are the victim of negligence, your remedy, your only remedy actually, is monetary compensation. So what does that mean? It means that we are responsible for making sure that you get the maximum amount for the medical bills that you've incurred in the past and are likely to incur in the future. We get you the maximum amount of the amount of income you have lost since the date of the accident and are likely to lose moving forward. We have individuals that will never return to work again. One of our biggest cases right now is a construction worker, an immigrant from Jamaica that came up here in 2016. A year later, he's working on a construction site and a steel beam falls and crushes him. He will never go back to work again on account of the injuries. And I don't want to get into the specifics of the case because it is still an ongoing case and I don't want to prejudice anything. There could be a potential juror listening out here, but he will never work again. So in the millions and millions of dollars we're going after, right? We have to ensure that it's not just stopping on the date of the settlement, it's moving forward into the future. And then of course, pain and suffering. So we understand the process. We know exactly the concept of one chance, one choice, right? Because there are no redos in personal injury. You can never open up a personal injury case again and get more money. And we get those phone calls. My lawyer settled my case for $15,000 last year, and now I need a knee surgery, and I'm going to be out of work for another 6 months. Can you reopen it? The answer is no, right? The answer is no. You can never reopen a case once it's settled. And that's why you better make sure that the attorney that you choose for personal injury is the right attorney and understands the concept of one chance, one choice. Because if you don't, you stand to be a victim twice, and we will never allow that to happen on our watch. Our clients that come to us, you know, for that one and only shot at full compensation are going to walk away with exactly that, full and fair compensation for their injuries. We will knock it out of the park for you. We will knock it out of the park for your family. But it all starts with that phone call, because unless you call us, we won't know you exist. We don't hang out at the emergency rooms. We don't have people coming up to you at the scene of the accident. We don't have doctors telling you, oh, you should go with this guy. That's just not how we roll. We do it the right way. And that's why I believe we're even more successful than other law firms out there that cut those corners and cheat a little bit, try to get you as clients. Our phone number is 844-774-3529 or 844-PPID-LAW. My name is Adam Handler. I am your case handler, and I'm so grateful that you spent this morning listening to us on 93.5 FM. And if you can do so, follow us on Facebook and check us out for the next half hour, because we got some great information for you, including those free phone consultations. 844-774-3529 or 844-PPID-LAW. And David is muted.
Sorry. Okay.
What's going on around here? Do I have to do everything? I come late. I let everybody know what we do, and you're on mute. David, they want to hear from you. They're tuning in because of you, man.
Just like you, man. We all got people showing up on our property. You got garage door issues. I got guys cracking rocks or whatever they're doing out there, you know. But anyway, once again, everyone on 93.5 FM, this is Cruising with the Case Handler. Catch it each and every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. The most powerful show on this station when it comes to immigration and personal injury talk. There's absolutely no reason to go to any other attorney, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to personal injury and immigration. They have proven themselves already. And I challenge anyone out there to call them. And you won't pay for the consultation. It will be free. And that's a good thing, because tons of attorneys all over, even consultants, okay, are charging you. There will be absolutely no charge for the free, well, obviously, free phone consultation. However, after that, hire them. Get a test drive by getting a free consultation, and then you hire them. Buy the car. The number, once again, is 844-774-3529. We are going to the top of the hour on 93.5 FM. But everyone that would love to continue listening to this show, watching the show, go to my page, David Squeeze Anarchy. That's Anarchy with 2 N's, A-N-N-A-K-I-E. Go to Adam Handler's page, the Case Handler. Go to PPID's page, Pollack, Isaac, and the C code. And we will answer any and all questions that you may have. You heard us speaking on the U visa, which I had to just shut up and listen, because, ladies and gentlemen, as much as I've heard about it before, I totally forgot that that is a powerful visa to help a lot of people out there. So once again, tune in, turn up, and of course, get help from PPID. The number, once again, 844-774-3529. You may not need the number right now, but someone else may need the number. So why not share? Sharing is caring. Once again, send the number to someone, 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Or you can go to ppid.com or thecasehandler.com. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Cruising with a Case Handler, weekdays, 8:30 a.m., Saturdays at 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. We're doing it between, and Sundays at midday. So make sure you check it out. Once again, 844-774-3529.
It's 9 o'clock.
There we go. We're at the top. All right, so let's continue on the immigration side. Lady
Squeeze.
and gentlemen.
Squeeze, I'm sorry, if I could just add actually a really important distinction between VAWA and a U visa, because with both, you're actually eligible if you're the victim of domestic violence. For VAWA, you need to be married. For a U visa, you don't. So if you're living with someone, male or female, and that person has physically abused you, you've called the police, you may be eligible for a U visa. You know, now, again, it's not just calling the police.
Even in common law? Common
Yes,
law.
yes, yes.
Oh, that's considered, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've represented brothers, right? Where one brother has beat up another brother. That's domestic violence, right?
Wow.
So, and again, it's important that that person not only file a police report or file a complaint, that person has to be ready, willing, and able to testify if he or she is called. So it's not just filing the complaint and then saying, oh, I don't want to press charges. I don't want to go forward. Oh, I don't want him to get into trouble. I don't want her to get into trouble. You have to be willing to cooperate. If you don't cooperate, they're not going to certify. And the certification is a requirement in order for you to proceed with immigration.
You know what's interesting? When now that I'm thinking about that, you know, I used to do quite a bit of matrimonial work back in the day when I was jumping around the courts and building my practice, and I enjoyed it. But obviously, I have a strong passion for personal injury, and I remember there was instances in which I would represent. It was just mostly the petitioners were the wives, but I did have a few petitioners that were the husbands. Orders of protection in the family court, and a lot of times, you know, and I hate to say this because you know, we want to think that most people bring meritorious claims, but I remember there were instances in which the claims were not meritorious, and they were filing those orders of protection in the family court just for that U visa. I remember one time I represented an individual. I'm not going to say if it was the husband or the wife, and it was clear that the spouse created bruises on their own body to perpetuate their claim. And I remember we actually hired a forensic expert to say that these types of bruises are self-inflicted, that the way that they are lined up couldn't have been from another person doing it. And I would have to imagine that there is a lot of fraud in that, right? I mean, have you ever come across that people are trying to use that as an easy way to get through?
I personally have not.
I have seen clients tell us, yeah, I helped and stuff, and then we file, because the local agency or the government agency can be the police department, it could be the family court, it can be child protective services. There's a lot of different agencies that can certify. But if you call, we can try different agencies, but I have had calls from the family court saying, why didn't you go to the DA's office first? We're not going to certify. You need to go to them first. And then I've had to go back to the clients and be like, why didn't you tell me, or something like that, because they weren't completely clear with us on what happened.
You know, Squeeze, I actually represented a family, and this is a horrible story, but basically the daughter was 16 years old, snuck out of her bedroom in the middle of the night, and was basically, she was given something. Apparently she was intoxicated. She was sexually assaulted, and her family found out because somebody showed her brother the video in school. And as a result of that crime, I was able to help the mother, the father, and the brother legalize their status. And it was actually an interesting case, Adam, because this ties into what you were just saying. I was in regular contact with the prosecutor. And basically, one of the defense attorney's arguments was that this child, who was 16 years old, fabricated the whole story so that her family could get a U visa. That was their defense. And basically, I spoke to the prosecutor and I said that the family didn't see me until a year after the event happened. So there was no way they would know. In fact, they were even reluctant to share that information with me. And she asked me if I would be willing to come into court and testify as to the same. And I said, absolutely. I was never called. They ended up taking pleas, and I think they got deported. They were eventually ordered deported. But again, it is a very powerful tool. There are various different ways to use that tool. So it's important that obviously you're guided and you're helped through this very difficult process.
Wow.
You know, even if they certify, Squeeze, and I just want to add this. So hypothetically, they certify. And now that they've certified, you all of a sudden decide not to cooperate. They could pull that certification back.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you know, you have to, again, you have to be guided, and all of this has to be explained to you because it could potentially jeopardize your case.
Oh, man, I'm very happy that we're speaking about this, and we must speak about this in the future. I like bringing up, I like you guys bringing up visas like these, which can help a lot of people out there, because, seriously, there are a lot of people out there who just don't know what to do. It's like people on the personal injury side. They get hurt in an accident. They're out of status. They don't want to do anything because they're out of status. And it's the same thing on the immigration side, where people are victims of crimes, and they don't want to do anything about it either. And I'm very happy that this is a discussion on the forum today. Once again, I need for everyone watching this, please share it. Share. You see the wealth and the power of the information that these attorneys are giving us on the show, Cruising with the Case Handler. So once again, accidents, immigration, it's here. Go to PPID, call them today, 844-774-3529. And now you all see what I'm saying when I say the attorneys have so much experience. You hear Nelson jumping in with Scheer, of course, Andrea, okay, and expanding on cases that they have handled. So evidently this is a common thing, and probably more common than we know, and even the attorneys even know, because you all out there have been victims and you just don't want to do anything about it.
And let's take it one step further, Squeeze. Given that new order from the Southern District, and I'm sure Nelson will, and Scheer, Andrea will concur, Scheer, whatever. If you are the victim of the crime and you are out of status, now you can feel that extra layer of security, knowing that you're not going to deal with ICE officials if you have to utilize the courts. So there's even more reason now to come forward, because we've heard that before. And those are the most, I think, out of all the cases, the most heartbreaking cases are the cases in which somebody has either been a victim of a crime or victim of negligence and have been fearful or reluctant to come forward because of their immigration status. I remember taking a call years ago about a woman that had a double mastectomy done, and it turns out that the doctors misread her blood work and her testing for cancer, and removed both of her breasts, and she did not have, it turns out she never had cancer, and she wanted to know if she could sue. She waited 5 years, unfortunately, after she got her status legitimized, and there was nothing we could do for her because of her of the statute of limitations. But I remember thinking to myself, what a terrible feeling that must be, to know that there's really nothing you can do because you were afraid to come forward. And how many countless people are robbed, are raped, are scammed, and don't want to call the police because they don't want to draw attention from themselves. It's truly heartbreaking. And even more reason that you need to be proactive, not only for you, but for your children and your family, to legalize your status here in the United States. And the first way you can go about doing that is very easy. You pick up your phone, right? Not everybody has this kind of phone, but you may have this kind of phone, and you dial 844.
My kids would say, "What is that?"
What do you say?
My kids would say, "What is that?"
My kids are like, "What the heck is this cord?" But seriously, you dial 844-774-3529 or 844-PPID law. It literally is the first step to changing everything about the way you live from here on in. And it's a powerful thing. You know, I always say, you know, the people that are born in the United States are just born in, it's like hitting the lottery, right? It's hitting the cosmos lottery. I didn't do anything to deserve being a citizen in this United States other than being blessed with being born in Brooklyn, right? Some people have to fight a little bit harder to become part of this great nation. And if that's something that's important to you and important for your children and their children's children, what do you have to lose? It's a free phone call. Absolutely. You've got no risk whatsoever. Even on my cases, I work on a contingency fee, meaning I get paid if and only if I'm successful for you. So there's no risk to you, no reason why you shouldn't have what you believe to be the best possible attorney fighting for that one and only shot at financial justice. 844-774-3529 or 844-PPID-LAW.
You know, or I'm sorry, just to get a second opinion. You know, we represented someone in the immigration department, someone who was ordered deported. And apparently they came to see us regarding the appeal. And I started asking them questions and found out that their young daughter was also raped. And I said, did you reveal this to your attorney? Did you ever tell your attorney this? And they said, we never saw him. We hired him, and then we saw him right before our trial, and he never asked. So we never shared this information with him. So instead of appealing, what we did was we had their removal case reopened, and we were actually able to help them all get a green card because their attorney had committed malpractice. And when an attorney commits malpractice, he will never admit to committing malpractice, but you wouldn't know that. So in my opinion, that's why it's good to go get a second opinion sometimes.
All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, cruising with a case handler, and stop making so much noise over there, Conrad. You know. But anyway, I got a question for you on the immigration side.
I'm just listening to the experts here, and you know, it's interesting stuff. You know, I enjoy. You know, once in a while, I do enjoy listening to my coworkers spout off on all their knowledge.
You know what? And honestly, like maybe we don't say this enough. Everybody on this panel has been handpicked by Conrad, right? We all are at the firm because Conrad believes that we are the best at what we do. And I can only imagine, and I know it's true, the big guy doesn't always get emotional like this, but I can only imagine how proud he must feel on a daily basis, knowing what kind of team he's assembled. Not only to help his practice grow, but to help the thousands of people out there truly change their lives. And I hope, and Nelson hopes, to carry that torch for years and years to come. So we are super excited that we're able to get the message out there about our law firm and the wonderful and special things we do here at Pollack, Guys.
Let's jump into some questions. A lot of people have their questions that they're waiting for to be answered. And one says here, I am under the F2B category and just waiting for my interview, which was canceled twice because of the lockdown. The U.S. Embassy is closed. My concern is I'm almost 8 months pregnant at the moment. Should I have an interview and just tell them I'm about to give birth soon, or just wait till I give birth before I have an interview? And can I bring my baby if ever? What should I do? I'm not married. Very interesting right there.
All right, I'll speak. Well, first off, my guess is if she has an interview, they're probably going to notice that she's pregnant. Beyond that, assuming the child is born before she comes to the United States, the child doesn't come automatically. The father or the mother, whoever is sponsoring their daughter, which by the way, she has to be unmarried in order to be in the F2B category. She must be unmarried or divorced, otherwise she's not qualified to be in the F2B category. But they're going to have to submit another application to the consulate or to the National Visa Center, actually, if that child is born, in order for that child to come with the mother to the United States. Problem is, they're subject to the travel ban. So as long as this travel ban is in existence, nobody's coming. In that regard, in that category, nobody's coming. And we'll be hearing very soon. My guess is Friday night. Usually after the news on Friday is when the Trump administration announces immigration news, so nobody hears about it until Monday. So my guess is Friday we'll hear about the travel ban and how it's been extended and all the additional categories they're going to ban for coming to the U.S. But in answer to her question, she just has to wait till the consulate reopens, and hopefully she can get in once the travel ban is over.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The number once again for the firm is 844-774-3529. That is 844-774-3529. Cruising with a case handler, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to another question on immigration. Is the F2A visa category exempted on the presidential proclamation or not?
No.
Okay. All right. Here goes that one. Another question for the I-130 under the F2B category. Can the applicant bring her child under 21 she had during the application process with her to the U.S. when the priority date becomes current, or does this needs a separate application?
All right, that sounds like the same exact applicant,
Yeah,
same exact
similar,
situation.
Yeah.
Might be the same person. But as I said, if that child is born, they're going to need a separate. She doesn't need a separate visa petition. She needs a separate visa application. So the parent who submitted the F2B visa petition for her daughter, unmarried daughter or son, and that unmarried daughter or son has a child, can bring that child with them. They don't need a separate petition, but they do need to notify the consulate. They do need to notify the National Visa Center and submit a separate application for the visa itself, pay the fees, and so on. That's all done with the NVC and the consulate, not with immigration, though.
Okay. And once again, folks, remember there's a WhatsApp link on the page. If you'd like to actually use the WhatsApp link to post your question to the group, maybe you don't want to be identified on Facebook, it's not a problem. Use the WhatsApp link, join the group, and place your questions in the WhatsApp group. So this way we can read it off to the immigration attorneys here at PPID. All right, here's another one. I submitted all my documents to the NVC on December the 20th. And once again, I'm reading verbatim, so I'm trying to correct as I go along. They accepted all documents and asked for additional documents on the 21st of February. I submitted those additional documents to the 24th of February, but still no DQ and no change in status. Anyone have any idea about how long it takes to review these submitted documents?
Once the National Visa Centers finish reviewing all the documentation and they have everything in place for the file, they send everything to the U.S. consulate and they schedule an interview. The reason this person hasn't heard, assuming everything's in order, is because consulate's closed.
Go on.
The consulate is closed. So even if the National Visa Center has everything that they need and has completed their work on the file, they can't schedule an interview until the consulate reopens. And again, if this person is in a visa category that is subject to the ban, they're not going to be able to complete the case until that ban is lifted. So I would say that this person is probably going to be waiting a while.
Okay, and last one, and this is not really an immigration question. It says, I have a green card, but don't have social security card or number. Can I get a driver's license without social security number because social security offices are closed and I need a driver's license? I don't know if anyone has that information.
I think you could go on the DMV website. I think they give you points depending on how, on certain forms of identification. Accumulate the points. If you don't have a social security, present other forms of identification, and hopefully you have the points required to get a driver's license.
There you go. Once again, cruising with a case handler, immigration and personal injury. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you reach out to them. The number is 844-774-3529. Flipping it over to Adam Handler. I'm quite sure he has something to say on personal injury before we touch on current affairs, if anyone wants to touch on that.
Oh, boy. Oh, good.
We always use the last 5 minutes of the show so to actually touch on that. If you all want to touch on it, I'm not opening my mouth.
Let's just get to it already. Forget personal injury. Everybody understands. You want millions of dollars. You want the best possible outcome. You go with the case handler. That's an easy sell. What I want to know is what Andrea thinks about current events. We're going to put her on the spot. She's sitting in a chair. Her juices, her creative juices are flowing. I want to know what you're thinking about what you see on the TV these days.
I think it's crazy. I think it's powerful.
And as an immigrant, give us your and perspective as an immigrant.
Well, I keep honestly speaking about it and talking about it to my parents a lot, because I think it's important that they know what's going on as well on the news. We have a different administration now. It's completely different from when we came 15 years ago. It's like a totally different process. So I think it's just a lot. It's hard to keep track of every single change. It's hard to stay on top of it, and it's sad every time you go on the news. Everything's just so negative lately. So everything's changing really fast.
Let me ask you something. Hang on a sec, Andrea. Your parents, I don't remember. Are your parents in the U.S.? They're here now, right?
Yes, we all came with asylum.
Has anybody in your family considering all the craziness going on here? Has anybody thought about leaving, going back home? Has anybody mentioned it?
The alternative is Venezuela, so no, they have not. But I mean, we were fortunate that we got our papers a long time ago and everything worked smoothly. But I have a lot of family members that applied for asylum 4 or 5 years ago, and they still haven't gotten an interview. So that's completely different from what we experienced only 14 years ago. It's a lot different.
What about clients? I mean, you're talking to clients every day from all over the world, from different countries. Have you heard any, and there's a reason I'm asking, which I'll get to. Have you heard from any of our clients, any people you're talking to, even friends in the immigrant community? Has anybody said, you know what, United States, it sucks here. I'm leaving. I'm going home. I'm going to Canada. I'm going to New Zealand, which I hear they treat immigrants nicely.
I've heard about Canada a lot, honestly, from clients and from friends say that. But people still want to stay here. They want to be able to pursue the American dream, I guess. So
it's the best country in the world. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I'm asking, I was just reading an article. I forget where, but the other day I was reading an article, and basically that, and again, I speak to immigrants myself, and through the years, and I remember there was a time, maybe it was during the early Bush years or maybe after 9/11, when I was hearing from people, especially Brazilians at the time, I remember, that they were thinking of leaving because it was after 245I had expired, and people that were here illegally were just tired of it, and things were better back in their home country. In particular, I remember Brazil, which of course things have changed quite a bit in Brazil right now. But it seems most immigrants, even with all the craziness and that is going to swing at them, and trying to keep them out, and trying to get them out and send them home. Even so, the vast majority of immigrants in the country are basically saying, you know what, we don't care. We are staying. We don't care what the Trump administration throws at us. We're not going anywhere. My kids are here. I went through all kinds of travails and hardship to get my family here, and we're not leaving. I don't give a damn what they do. We are staying, and we are here for the duration, because you know what? As bad as it is here, it's a lot worse back home. So
I see that with people at the border. Everything has changed now. They know they're going to be detained. They can be detained permanently, or like have to do the process from the detention centers, and they still try to come in. They won't stop. Yep. They're not going to.
Because that's what the Trump administration's modus operandi has been. Their surreptitious process has been to make things as miserable and as difficult and as torturous for immigrants, especially at the border, coming, so that they won't come. That'll deter them from coming. But what these people don't understand is, no matter what they do, it's still going to be better than going back to their country. Which, if they go back to Nicaragua, my daughter's going to get raped. If I go back to Guatemala, they're going to probably shoot me because I said something I shouldn't have said about the junta in power. So no matter what they do, these immigrants are not leaving. The opportunities are still going to be here, no matter what they do. And if you want to look for a bright spot in all the bad stuff that's happening, there you go. There's a bright spot, because people's perseverance, and that human spirit and their desire to seek a better life, There is nothing that the Trump administration can do to dampen that. They can try, and they're doing their best, but they're not going to succeed. And when the Trump administration is gone, hopefully real soon, we will see hopefully a rebirth of appreciation in this country for what immigrants bring to the table.
Well, what I find interesting as well is I've spoken to many of our clients. I thought crossing the border was like a few hours a day or so. Crossing the border could be up to a month.
That's right.
In some cases longer, a week, 2 weeks. And these are people basically walking across the desert. So I think, obviously that demonstrates their perseverance. I can't see myself in a desert for a month trying to get from point A to point B. I'd probably turn back.
Just the whole thing. I mean, yeah, the Trump administration with we don't need to rehash, but it's just so self-defeating. Our population is aging. The growth percentage of the U.S. population is 65 and over. Right? I mean, we don't have enough people to do, or especially the low-skilled and unskilled labor jobs that these immigrants are filling. And here we are trying to keep them out. Right? Who's going to be the home attendants in the future? Who's going to be picking those strawberries in the future? Who's going to be in the kitchen, cooking our meals in those restaurants when those restaurants eventually reopen? It's just so short-sighted. And what are they doing also with the skilled workers? I'm just talking about unskilled workers, but with the skilled workers, the professionals that Trump says, well, we want them. If they have an education and they're white, we want them. Right? They're making it so difficult for them to come. These people, they're not even looking to come to the United States anymore. They'd rather go to Canada. They'd rather go to Germany. They'd rather go to other industrialized nations where they're appreciated, where they can actually stay and not have to worry about getting their education and have to leave immediately after they get the degree. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Cruising with the Case Handler. I want to say thanks to each and every one for joining us. Thanks to our special guest today, Andrea Scheer, aka Scheer. Thanks to Nelson Maverick, aka Maverick. Thanks to Conrad Pollack, the Maestro. And thanks to my co-pilot, Adam Handler, aka the Case Handler. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. Thanks to you for showing up. The number for the firm, PPID, in the capacity of personal injury, immigration, and more, is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. 844-774-3529. Thanks to each and every one for tuning in. And of course, this has been an attorney advertisement. However, we do know that private results do not guarantee similar outcome. And I would love for everyone to store that number, share that number, 844-774-3529. Have yourself an amazing day. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.